My colleagues, I, Hon Oladipupo O Adebutu, representing Ikenne, Shagam, and Remo North Federal Constituency of Ogun State, I hereby stand to move the motion on the current impasse, the National Rural Telephony Program, NRTP. The House notes the completion of Phase 1 of the National Rural Telephony Program, which was accomplished with a loan of $200 million from the China Exim Bank. Also notes that despite the $300 million counterpart funding paid by the federal government for the Phase 2 of the program, the Chinese government is yet to release its own part of the funds for the Phase 2 project. Concerned that despite the fact that the capital and interest has been repaid on the $200 million loan for Phase 1, and a further 300 million naira paid as counterpart funds for Phase 2, the National Rural Telephony Program remains uncompleted. Also concerned that the facilities deployed technology may have become outdated given the advent of the global system for mobile communications, GSM. The House resolves to, 1, urge that the investment should not go to waste, and the Phase 1 of the program should be put to use as soon as possible with a view of averting further liabilities. Taking into cognizance that in the present budget proposals, $250 million has been set aside, proposed to be set aside for payment of security guards for these facilities. Number 2, also urge for a continuation of the broad-based stakeholders interactive session and the detailed proposals from various stakeholders to be distilled to provide for an acceptable resolution of the current impasse in the National Rural Telephony Program. This would be for the betterment of the nation. Number 3, mandate the Committee on Rural Development to ensure implementation, including ensuring that the counterpart funds already paid for Phase 2 should be optimally utilized in the change order proposed in light of present difficulties, and should report back within 8 weeks for further legislative action. I so move.
Okay, this motion is not investigative in nature, so Honorable Deputy, please lead the debate.
Initiated in good faith, projects initiated at great expense. In this case, Nigeria had to borrow the sum of over $200 million for the completion of the Phase 1 of the National Rural Telephony Project. We borrowed this amount. We have paid back in full both capital and interest. But as of today, it's unfortunate that we have derived no benefits from this expenditure. Over the years, the project has become moribund to the extent that essentially even the technology deployed has become somewhat obsolete. With the advent of the GSM, rural telephony, as observed 10 years ago, 15 years ago, does not fit the pattern and the availability of the technology available. In essence, we have now tied down equipment that are essentially obsolete, and we now continue to incur expense in safeguarding those equipment. in the proposals for the 2017 budget, we have a request for 250 million naira approximately for the purpose of just paying security guards. Whereas it's like throwing good money after bad. We have lost $200 million, and yet we continue to expend money to secure sites that are essentially non-viable. It has now come a time that we must take a decision on how to free the nation of these liabilities and make sure whatever can be recouped from this expenditure and these assets be done once and for all to save us from perpetual court judgments compelling the nation to pay for services it would rather not have. I so submit, Mr. Speaker.
Anyone who wants to speak on this subject matter? Honorable Ustas.